Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. So today we have a very interesting topic here. We're going to be looking at the Caro Kann for Black full overview. Let's wait for some of you guys to join in. 1 second.
Music licensing.
Going to put a position on the board. All right. Let's wait for you guys to come in here. Then we're going to start up looking at the Caro Kann for Black at the Caribbean Opening Clinic. Hello, Stefan. Good that you are here, my friend. Good. How is your tournament going?
Music licensing reimagined.
How is your tournament going? Do you hear the music in the stream? Can you hear it or you don't hear any music? We have some new music today. Let me know if you hear the music in the stream. Alright, so whoever comes in there. 3 draws. We're playing very solid. Is the music too loud or is it fine? Is it good? Should I try put it louder?
Artlist.io.
Should I put the music a bit louder? Maybe a bit louder, what do you think?
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright. So if anyone which GM who are you playing tomorrow? Very funny guy. Solid player, but he's older now, so you should be able to beat him. You should be able to beat him.
Artlist.io.
Alright. So I'm waiting whoever joins in here, come across the YouTube and type in the chat here. And then we're going to get ready. Gonna get ready. Just making sure everything is set.
Music licensing reimagined.
I'm just checking if on chess.com they show that I'm streaming. So anyone that's joining in, be sure to put a comment. Sure to send your greetings.
Artlist.io.
Last time we had 2 pawns up, but opposite color bishops. That one's not so easy to win.
Music licensing reimagined.
Yeah, we should be going soon on chess.com TV. There is Canadian guy Hamilton is chess bruh. Playing some, I don't know what he's doing. Playing some bullet. We'll do some proper chess here, some real chess learning.
Artlist.io.
But yeah, in for a tough game. Pop Trev is not so easy to beat. He's very solid. He plays for like a draw most of the time, and if anybody over pushes, then he will turn it around on them.
Music licensing reimagined.
We watch Caro Kann in general for both sides, but more focused to black. More focused to black. I'm giving like a full overview of the different lines, like a foundation for black repertoire here. Now I just want to check on chess.com if they show that I'm streaming, if they have my stream there.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, he misses tactics because usually older grandmasters they miss tactics. So it's easier to catch them in some tactics or some fighting position. Yeah, I'm checking this on chess.com if they have me. Don't know how to see it.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, I don't know if they show me live on chess.com. No, I just do YouTube. I think Twitch is slowly dying out.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, so we should be coming up now on chess.com TV. So today we have a very special episode. So today we have the Caribbean Opening Clinic. So what's the Caribbean Opening Clinic? So we want to look at some openings here. So this wasn't the originally planned title, what you may see. Enough blitz, playing blitz. Everyone plays blitz and talk some rubbish or something. But I want to give some real practical tips, some real chess wisdom and knowledge to you guys here. So today we have a Caribbean Opening Clinic. We're going to be looking at the Caro Kann Defense. So I'm International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar, also known as the Caribbean Chess Master, coming from the small Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to be looking at the Caro Kann Defense. So if you're like, here, I'm streaming on YouTube here, so come across to the YouTube chat, like, subscribe, and be ready. So without further ado, let's take a dive into the Caro Kann. So if anyone joins late or anything, you could always come back later and see what's going on.
Artlist.io.
Stefan, if you want to do me a favor, check if you can see on chess.com TV if they show me, and let me know if I'm there on chess.com TV, if it's up. So alright. So let's go look at the Caro Kann. Today is the Caribbean Opening Clinic. We're going to be dealing with the Caro Kann. We have a small change in plans. It was on the original plan, but I thought this will be very useful for you guys. So after e4, we play pawn to c6. So I want to give you an overview of the Caro Kann defense. So why should someone choose the Caro Kann defense? The Caro Kann defense, in my opinion, is one of the easiest openings to pick up with black. It's very solid. It's very simple to remember. The Caro Kann. And the Caro Kann is a very principled opening. Who was it played by? It wasn't played by any idiot. It was played by world champions like Karpov. But Vinnik time to time employed it. In fact, Alireza Firouzja has trusted the Caro Kann very much in a lot of his high-level games. And I myself have trusted this opening over the last 5 or 6 years. So I want to give an overview and explain the key concepts, the ideas, bring you guys into the mind of the Caro Kann. And we're going to get to know a little Caribbean style of the Caro Kann here from myself, International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar. So after e4, c6, what's the point of the Caro Kann? The point is, we want to challenge white in the center here. and be able to recapture the pawn. Because we know the Scandinavian is a horrible opening. So we ain't gonna play d5 and bring out our queen, but this is nonsense. You know, everyone who knows basic chess principles, you don't bring out your queen early, so we ain't playing that garbage Scandinavian. And the French defense, after d4, d5, we have this bad bishop on c8. And it's an ugly piece. It's like, you know, that member of the family nobody wants to invite to dinner or something like that. He's always left out. So we don't want to play the French defense. Although it's, you know, possible to play. So the Caro Kann, pawn to c6, is like that respectful family member that everyone always invites, could trust him, could rely on him, could know that, you know, this guy is safe, solid, stable guy. He's like that guy working this, you know, safe job. He's probably an accountant working in the bank or something like that. So we're going to play d5 and keep our bishop open. So what options does white have here? So, of course, there's the main move, d4. And after d5 here, you could see we already open our bishop. We challenge the center, and white has a big question how to react to this. So white could either play pawn to e5, or he could defend the pawn with knight c3 and knight d2. There's the fantasy variation with f3, but that kind of move is that, man. You're opening up the king. This is garbage. What else could white play? There's the exchange variation when e captures d5, c captures d5. There's the pan of attack with c4, and there's the normal exchange variation with bishop to d3. That's already some main concepts in the Caro Kann. If he doesn't play d4, there's lines such as knight f3, d5. There's the famous 2 knights with knight c3. There's also this popular modern endgame line, as well as there's this, I believe we call it the apocalypse variation, knight e5, where he wants bishop b5. Other than that, there's also, white could play here d3, for example, to get a kind of King's Indian kind of attack against the Caro Kann, which is a fighting kind of game. So how many people play the Caro Kann in chat? Let me know here. Are you all guys, do you all like the Caro Kann? What do you all think about the Caro Kann? We're going to take a in-depth dive in Caro Kann here. And take a real look at it. Real close and real nice. In a little Caribbean style here, man. Look at the Caro Kann, man. Again, this opening solve. So we had the 4 knights. We saw knight f3, knight c3, but we ain't got no problem there, man. We have d4. We play a little d5 and we solve the position. So let's start here with the options white could play here and put up on the board. So let's start with the exchange variation that everybody, you know, likes to play. These beginners, you know, all low level players like to, you see a pawn and you take a pawn. So we have some people play the Sicilian. Sure, I play the Sicilian as well, man. You know, as a chess master, we play many different openings. We don't confine ourselves to, you know, one weapon. We have our sword in the right hand, we have our gun in the left, we have the shield in the back, we have the dagger under our shoe, we have everything. So d5, e takes, c d5. And let's see what could go on here. After bishop d3, black generally could play knight c6. You know, usually this is the main line. White plays c3, defending the pawn. And the main idea of white is he wants to be able to develop like his 2 bishops here. And he wants to, in a sort of way, restrict one of our bishops. So that way white will have an advantage in better piece placement. The French is alright, it's decent. But it's a little bit tough opening. c3 here. So the idea of white is he's playing against our bishop on c8. So you see his queen looks over here, his bishop looks over here. So there's no easy way to develop our bishop. And the main line goes knight f6, bishop f4. And black, you know, black plays like the move e6, he's going to stay with the bad bishop. And you might as well have played the French defense if you're going to play like this. So bishop g4, bringing out attacking the queen. White usually plays queen b3. The game goes queen d7. Then black follows up with knight d2. White follows up knight d2, knight f3. Black could play e6. Sorry, first knight d2, e6, knight f3. Black follows up with the move bishop d6, tacky tactic. So black wants to finish his development. And this bishop on f4 is really very annoying here. So after bishop takes, queen takes. The idea is after queen b7, black will have this rook b8. He'll be able to castle, and the b2 pawn will come under some fire here. So white usually castles, black castles here, and there's a little bit more to this position than it seems on the surface. White has tried some aggressive moves like rook e1, he wants 95 to play a little bit aggressively. But generally, black is fine here. Castles, rook e1. You have several ideas. Black can try rook b8 to go pawn to b5 and start the minority attack. You also have knight e7 with the idea bishop f5 to trade the light squared bishops, which is a very valid idea to try to take out the sting of any white, any shenanigans here. So let's see. Alright. So that's the exchange variation, a little overview. The pan off with pawn to c4. We play knight f6, and we're going to try to go against giving white like an isolated pawn here on d4. If he takes, we play knight d5, and now white has this isolated pawn, and black gets some easy play. We can play, knight c6, e6, bring our bishop out, castle, and white will have a tough time defending and dealing with this pawn. Or we could even play g6, bishop g7, because here the bishop protects our king more with castle, and the bishop directly exerts some influence in the center. So white generally plays knight c3. And here black has several options to deal with the pan off. One way is pawn e6. And this is the most classical way. I believe there's some knight f3. White has also tried this modern c5, where black could play bishop e7, and he should generally try to castle and then undermine the pawn with perhaps b6. But generally play knight f3 here. And after bishop e7, black is very solid here. I personally, this line for black is very complex and not too promising for white also. There's bishop d3 could be played, but then we take on c4 with tempo, and we castle here. I don't remember exactly what they play, but black is getting a fine game here. But generally, a very simple move is also this pawn to g6 is a nice idea against the pan off defense. So if you play the Caro Kann, you want to get a bishop out to g7. So if white does like knight f3, we play bishop g7, ready to castle. Our bishop stays well here. We go knight c6, bishop g4. We're doing all right. And if he takes on d5, in fact, we don't even have to take back the pawn. Here we play simply bishop g7, and the idea is we could simply castle, and then we're eventually going to get back the pawn. If not immediately, we have knight d7, knight b6 to take it back. But you also can take knight captures d5 here immediately. That's also completely fine. After knight d5 immediately, white has several ideas. He has this, I believe he has this bishop d4. One idea here, I believe, is that after knight c3, he has this move queen b3 to attack here on f7 with tempo, forcing us to play e6, closing our bishop, then play bc3. So that's why here we play simply knight b6, we attack the bishop, then we play bishop g7, we're ready to castle, play knight c6, he plays knight f3, we bring the bishop out to g4, and everything looking fine there. So if we have any new viewers, be sure to drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're all coming from. Subscribe to YouTube. It could be very interesting. We have a Caribbean opening clinic today. We see the Caro Kann. So generally knight c3 we could play g6. We want to get the bishop to g7, and this is one way of playing. E6 is possible, as I was telling you guys, and after bishop e7, yeah, white takes on d5, and after knight d5 he plays bishop d3, and we get castles here. And after black plays, for example, a move like knight c6, white plays rook e1, and white has the isolated pawn, which generally is a structural statistic weakness. However, white has quite some activity here. You can see his bishop on d3 is very good. Points towards our king, his rook is on the open line, knight is here, and we didn't solve the problem of our bishop yet. So things will get a little bit complex here. Black here also has opted for the move, I believe after knight f3, black has also opted for bishop e4. Now queen a4 does not lose the bishop, we have knight c6. And then this is also another complex option here, so both options are possible against the pan off. So we saw what to do against the pan off and the exchange variation in the Caro Kann. So remember guys, if you're new here, you're seeing me for the first time, you're like, who's this man here? Where did this man come from? Well, I'm International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar. from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago, if you ever heard about that place. And I'm here bringing my knowledge and wisdom to share with you guys. So how's the pawn of and the exchange? The main variation after knight c3, simply take on e4. And the traditional main line was always this bishop f5, then the knight jump around and the bishop getting chased, getting kicked out of the home there, and the bishop would not feel too happy. Knight d4 here, and I like the move. Very simple move, knight f6. There it is, we develop with tempo here, and we're not afraid of the pawn structure here. We're not afraid of the pawn structure. So after knight captures f6, e captures f6, we have the double pawns. And historically, this was thought to be very bad for black. We double the pawns. What is this? How you could play chess like this? That's a crime. But then modern day engines, modern day humans realize that things not as they meet the eye, as Optimus Prime would say in Transformers, something like that. So he captures. We have the open E line now. We have the open E line. And not only that, our bishops are both open very quickly. They're already out in the game. They're ready to come out. So we have very quick and simple development here. So to show you how this position, so we do not Caro Kann opening clinic here. Show how the Caro Kann works with black. If you have any questions, drop them in the YouTube chat. And I'll be happy to answer them. So be sure to subscribe, like. Always stay tuned for more. We're going to be here on chess.com TV a lot. Remember in the description here, if you want to become a chess.com premium member, we have in the YouTube description link, the affiliate link. Become a chess.com premium member. You could get access to all these cool features. So knight f3 here, you see, look how people don't understand the game of chess. So knight f3 here is actually already like a small kind of, you're misplacing the knight. Because the pawn on f6 double pawn actually restricts the knight on f3. Because the horse can't jump to e5. Oh god, Maro going wrong. Oh lord. He can't go to e5. He can't go to g5. So what he really doing there? So people don't play that too much. Because here black brings out his bishop, bishop d6, bishop d3. Castles. Castles. Black here, he draw the bishop on g4. Pinning the knight. And white generally plays a move like rook e1. Black plays like knight d7, so all black's forces are in the game. Generally, queen c7 is a useful move. We're going to be looking down at h2. Black will play rook e8 to take the e-file. And again, the white knight is under some pressure here, man. It ain't looking too pleasant here. Black gets very easy play. Everything is developed. All the pieces are working. So what white doing here, man? White, he can't do nothing. So Caro Kann, man. This is the Caro Kann Caribbean opening clinic here. Now look. I a chess international master. I ain't no doctor, but they could call me the chess doctor. Because if somebody have some illness in chess, that's why I think chess people better than doctors. Usually doctors, they might rip you off. In my country, you go to the doctor, you ask him a couple questions, and he drop a very high bill on you all. Oh, in fact, I don't like, in fact, doctors sometimes, you gotta be careful with them. But chess doctors, they're the best kind of doctors. They cannot solve health problems, but they can solve chess problems. So this is the Caro Kann opening clinic. We solving your problems here. Caribbean style international master Alan Safar Ramoutar here. This we have no problems here. So in the Caro Kann, as we saw in the main line, so we go e4, d4, d5. So we have the bishop on c, the respectable gentleman. We don't want to close our bishop like in the French e6, d5. We close the bishop. We don't have any care for him. But here in the Caro Kann, we are like noblemen, we are like gentlemen. We play like Karpov. If you know Karpov, Karpov would come in a suit. Anatoly Karpov, former world chess champion, he would come in a suit, he would come in his tie, and he would have his tea, and he'd have his tea, he'd have his glass. He would drink his tea, and he would play the Caro Kann, and he would play very solid. He would play, very neat. If it's draw, if the opponent over pushes, he win. Gentleman kind of chess, not this rough Sicilian, not this ugly French. So this Caro Kann is a real gentleman's opening here. So d5 here we play, and I was showing that in the main line here. So we take on e4, knight e4, and we play this knight f6. Now back in Karpov's days, he didn't know about this. Karpov used to play the very solid move knight e7 to prepare knight f6. Because Karpov, he was such a gentleman. He didn't even want to double his pawns because he cared about his pieces too much. But these days we can actually play knight f6 because we realize that these double pawns not bad. They actually open up our bishop. We have the open e-file. And they actually add some safety to our king as well. So they ain't bad at all. So guys, how you all like the music here? Playing you all some local beats. from the islands, you know, from where I come from here. You know, you're all accustomed to seeing European, these American commentators. We have a little different kind of style here, you know. So he captures f6. So as I said, if knight f3, the knight here, when you put a piece on a square, you want to ask yourself where that knight going? What's the plan? What's the idea? But you see up on f6, look on the g5 square, look on the e5 square, and the knight can't really go there. So the knight on f3 is not so ideal. So that's why the main line is pawn c3. White has found a brilliant way of organizing a development here. So remember, if you're watching the stream, come across the YouTube and drop a comment, because there I can see the comments. If you say something on chess.com, I can't see that. So c3 here. Now the idea here is white wants to play bishop d3, and he wants to put the knight on the e2 square, which is a different kind of development. But that ain't bothering we at all with black. That ain't. Music need to be a little bit louder, my friend. Let me raise it upon your tail there, man. We hear the thing there, man. We had the music, we had the real thing. The c3 here. We play bishop on the d6 square, and look, we're ready to castle. We already out here. And what white could do here? White usually plays bishop d3. We castle, and white has two options here. He could play a little disturbing move. He wants to disturb us. He attacking the h pawn, and he asking us what we gonna do there. Or he has knight e2 here, and he's just gonna castle. So he plays knight e2. We bring the rook on the file. Why? Because the rooks belong on the open files. You probably heard that plenty time. And if white castles here, we now want to bring our knight to d7. We're going to bring the knight to d7, and we're going to put it to f8 to consolidate our king, to make sure we're nice and safe. And then we're going to bring our other pieces in the game. So for example here, if white plays bishop f4, he wants to trade the bishops. Here we play simply knight f8. And then, you know, if he takes, we take with the queen. If he plays queen d2, we could even take here. And if he takes with the queen here, we could play like bishop e6, knight g6, and we could bring our queen somewhere, even queen d7. And black is very solid. It's hard for white. White can't just play c4 d5. That ain't gonna happen. If he takes with the knight, we have a very nice, interesting move actually. We can play like even knight g6, but I like to move queen d6. The idea is now if he moves his rook here, we just play bishop d7, and the queen actually sits nicely on d6. This is a very nice idea here. Looks up on the f4 knight. And the future plan, we have a very sly idea. So he plays like a4. One typical idea, we could play a5 to stop him here, to stop this expansion. But typical idea is g6. And because we have these double pawns, we could play like this. We're going to just move king g7, and we basically cut out his bishop, and we stop his knight from going anywhere. And our king is safe. Small improvement. And then later we could play knight d6 to make a little trade there, a little barter. So as this bishop f4, we plays knight g3. Again, we could continue in the normal kind of style here. Knight want to come on the f5, on the h5 square. We want that. Play g6, and again, because the double pawn is nice and a little solid there. If knight e4, we'll come back. And everything is safe and solid here. Very nice and solid. He plays bishop h6. We ain't like that bishop. It's a little harassing us a little bit. He come a little back, bishop f8. We're going to get ready bishop. And for example, if he takes or something, this is good for us. Play knight f8. We bring our king here to be a little safe. We bring the bishop out. And even one idea later is we could be a little aggressive with h5. This is very nice positions here. And if he plays the queen pawn the c2 square, bishop g5 here. Where bishop g5? Queen c2. Play a little rook e8 here. So on queen c2, I like this. And here is the modern main line h5, where black is trying to be a little fancy, a little aggressive as possible. There's also the simple move h6 actually. And the idea is castles, you just play knight d7. And black is doing good here. The knight could usually come to f8 to defend the king. You could consider bringing it to b6 as well at the opportune moment here. So you could research this position, knight g3 here. And here, for example, black doesn't have to play knight f8. But sometimes white wants to play f4. So here you could even play knight b6. If he plays f4, an attack on the king side is best met by attacking the center. So let's see how c5 is working here. Well, c5, he actually has a strong move. c4, the idea is pawn takes here, c5. So f4, we could just, let's see what went on here. So knight g3.
Music licensing.
Play knight b6. f4 here. Yeah, we could ignore him. We could continue our development. We could play like a bishop f8. Just get the bishop safely back. And we could play a5, a4. And it's important white cannot play c4 because we take the pawn. So that was just important to find detail. And this is a complicated fight here. This is a very nice game here for black. The black king is safe. That's important. So we generally play knight e7. White plays bishop e3. We come knight f6, knight f8. We want the bishop out to e6. Even we have a funny idea. So let's say we bring the bishop out to e6. Let's say white plays here. We have this idea even sometimes bishop c7. It may not work here, but generally we have this idea. Sometimes it's battery with queen d6 to look for mate here. Or generally we could bring the knight to g6, bishop c7, queen d7, and maybe we sack something up on h3. That's one idea here. So generally the main line here with this pawn structure is not too bad at all. Alright, so let's go to the block Caro Kann. So after pawn e5 here, this is known as the advanced variation, which people believe there's some trouble or anything like that. So guys, what do you all think about the Caro Kann in the chat? Let me know in the chat. Do we have any Caro Kann players here? Do you all play the Caro Kann, or what's going on with you guys here? Let me know what you all think about the Caro Kann. Alright, so after e5 here, so black has two moves. This is a very critical variation here. Now bishop f5 is the move that is like, it has a lot of heavy theory, honestly. So you play bishop f5, you have to be booked up a little bit quite heavily here with bishop f5. The idea is black is getting bishop out of the pawn chain, and he wants to play a French defense down a tempo, but his bishop comes out of the pawn chain. So he wants to play e6, c5, and then the knight comes out. So this is possible here. If white plays this bishop g5 here, this is no, we merely have queen b6 attacking the b2 pawn. So bishop f5 now, and white has several ideas here. White has quite a few ideas here. I'll try to explain what white has. White has this aggressive h4, the Tal variation. So white wants to kind of trap our bishop. So the idea is if e6, he merely traps our bishop. If we go back, we have this h5, f3. So he traps our bishop. It's quite aggressive. White has the short variation, knight f3, e6. He plays classical style, bishop e2, and he castles. That's one variation. c4 here is not critical. We play e6. Generally bishop comes out to b4 if knight c3. And we have our usual Caro Kann with knight e7. We maybe take on c4, get the d5 square for our knight. He has what else? h4, knight f3. He has this crazy move g4. Trying to get our bishop again, but here I like bishop e4 to provoke this f3. And then we simply come back here. If he plays pawn e6, we can take this pawn here. So white is trying to claim that he's trying to stick our bishop on f8 and keep it there. But generally here we're doing fine here. For example, h4. We could even consider playing, we could even play like h5 and stop this. And white has to be careful. We might have some queen d6, queen g3 coming in. If white plays h4 here, we have h5. And if e6, here, important detail, we have this queen d6. Now to take the pawn, and we look at the g3 square. And if white takes here, we take back with the bishop. And white didn't develop anything here, and we're ready to continue. So this generally is fine. This bishop e4 here. So this short variation, let's see, white has also knight d2. He wants to go knight b3 to try to stop c5. That's one idea. But here we play e6, knight b3. There's several moves. There's a move c5. The idea is that if dc5, bishop c5, black in the end gets his queen a5 check. And after c3 takes queen c5. And black is ready to get his knights out with knight c6, knight e7. He wants a castle. White has the move after c5 is bishop b5 check. And then it goes some crazy line here. I think dc5. Black takes bishop c5 here. Again, if knight c5, queen a4 check. And generally black should be doing okay here. There's also, you can play knight d7 and slowly prepare c5 is one line. in the short variation with knight f3. There's several ideas
I-O.
for black here. You play e6. And generally, if white plays like nothing happened, like this, we play c5. Let's say c3, knight c6, castles. And we have a French defense, except we don't have the light squared bishop. And as the famous man Capablanca, one of the third world chess champion, said, he said when you have a bishop on the board, you should put the pawns on the opposite color of the bishop. And here we have our dark square bishop, and we have the very nice light square pawn chain. So castles here, and black here has several moves. It's possible to play knight e7. And if d takes c5, you want to go knight g6 and collect back the pawns. Or you can take on d4, then you play knight e7. The idea is your knight can't come to h6, he'll take. And if your bishop doesn't have a convenient square to develop, so first you play like knight e7. Then you get a knight to f5 or g6, and then you play bishop e7, castles. And black is doing alright. If he plays bishop e2, now this is a short variation. Black has many ways to combat this. Black can play either with c5, and then the line goes castles. This is, I believe this bishop e3 is the modern line. White could also play castles. But this is line with queen b3, knight c3. If you want, you could go into these complications. The lines go, I believe, there's some knight c6, castles, queen b2, queen e1. And there's some complex line here that you could be booked up here, so you could look at that if you want here. There's also black plays in a more traditional way. Like the traditional way of playing, like knight d7, castles, h6. And the idea of black is quite simple. Let's say white plays like this. We want to play knight e7, c3. We tuck the bishop back. We move, because we need to find out how to develop all our pieces, because we have less space. We tuck the bishop back. Let's say white plays rook e1, and here black continues with, for example, you could even put a knight to g6 or f5. Then you play bishop e7 and you castle here, and then you later undermine the center with c5 is one option. There's one way of playing the Caro Kann. There's also the move to play bishop e2. There's a very modern move, a5, that was introduced recently, played by Richard Rapport. There it is after castles, a4, so you want to gain some space on the queen side. Since we're cramped on the king side, black gains space on the queen side. Then he wants to continue knight d7 and so on. So the many ways for black to play here. There's knight e7, there's knight d7, there's this forcing move c5. All these are alright. Now let's talk about the tile variation here. So black doesn't have to play h5. h5 is usually played. There are many moves by black. There's even some move a6 where you invite white to play this g4, and then you come back here, and the idea is black provoke these pawn weaknesses here, these aggressive moves, and black wants to immediately attack with c5 and e6. So this is possible here. So white plays bishop e3. For example, black here will play like c5, takes e6, and he's trying to get back the pawn here with queen c7 next and capitalize on white's pawn moves. So this is one weird sideline variation possible to play this. h6 is also possible with the idea if you go g4 again, bishop d7, and again if this bishop e3, black wants to play this e6 and c5. This is possible. Also, let's see, there's
Music licensing reimagined.
there's bishop e4 also to provoke this f3, bishop h7, e6. This is also one very interesting position here. So white opened up his whole king side by pushing us back. Black plays queen d6, and then this very kind of crazy position here where black's bishop is here, white's pawns are here. There's a weak e5 square, but black is a little bit ahead in development. He wants to play like knight f6, c5, and try to catch white here. That's one option. The most solid option is the h5. So welcome to the Caro Kann Clinic. If anyone's joining here new, be sure to drop a comment on YouTube, show some support. I'm International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar here, Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago. the most solid one is h5, and white can play like bishop d3, c4, or bishop g5. c4 here. We could play, there's like, we go e6. After knight c3, the line goes, so I believe knight d7. Or first white, black is taken, play knight d7. And there's several lines here, for example, knight g2, knight g2, black is playing bishop e7, getting a tempo on the pawn here. And we get a very interesting position like this. Black wants to play like knight develop to h6, knight f5. And black is generally very solid here, of course, so that's a little overview. If bishop d3 here, we take queen d3, e6. So again, the whole point of the Caro Kann is we like place our pawns on light squares after giving up the light squared bishop. So e6 here. And after knight f3, a key idea of black is this queen a5 check. The idea, the main simple idea is if he blocks here, we have like this idea queen a6 to trade the queens, and if he moves, we stop him from castling. And this endgame will be good for us because all our pawns are sit on light squares, and we have the dark squared bishop. His pawns on dark squares, he has the dark squared bishop. Next, we're gonna play like knight e7. We break with c5, and black is doing very good. So white usually plays knight e2 to meet some queen a6 with c4. And then we generally play knight h6 castles, knight f5. And black ain't doing bad here at all. We're going to continue our development with bishop e7 or knight d7. If he attacks our queen, we can go queen b5 or queen a6, queen d1. Black can play c5 with the idea to break, and after takes knight d7. But b6 is also possible with the idea to prepare c5. And then again, we're playing slowly, and black should be quite solid here.
Artlist.io.
It's queen f5 check. There's this move, one of our subscribers said he plays the move bishop g5 here, which is a very tricky try. After bishop g5 here, black goes queen b6, attacking b2. And white plays this bishop d3, this gambit kind of line.
Licensing reimagined.
Here, however, I don't think black can take the pawn. And then goes this complications, queen g4, bishop f5, queen f5, white is playing c4. And I will, this is this very, very crazy line here. If black plays, for example, f6, there's some queen b3 already. So be very careful here. I believe black is playing like e6, knight out to d7, but he has to be careful here. The simple approach is to take on d3 and I play like with e6 here simply. Again, if knight f3, you can take on b2. So white generally is playing knight d2 to meet queen b2 with rook b1. And black here can follow up with c5. White plays, let's say, some knight d2 plus cd4, knight d4. And you continue development here, and black should be doing alright. Knight c6 is coming. Shouldn't be that bad. Shouldn't be that bad at all. So that was generally an overview of the main lines in the Caro Kann. So what do you guys think? How do you guys think the Caro Kann is looking? Do you have anyone here who likes the Caro Kann, or do you all hate the Caro Kann? Alright, so e4, c6, and I give you guys a little thoughts about the other lines. So those are the main lines. The two knights here, d5, knight f3. We can simply play bishop g4, and the idea is we again give the bishop. We put our pawns on light squares, form this triangle in the center, and then we develop with knight d7, sometimes knight d7, bishop d6, knight d7, or knight f6 and bishop c5, depending on the situation. We could go more into detail in another time. There's just an overview. And if white plays at the King's Indian here, d5, knight d2, we just play e5 and we take the center here. And next we're ready with knight f6 and castles. White plays d4, take on d4 here. And generally, black is doing fine if e5. Is even to move knight f6 we speed up our development with castles. Black is doing fine. And there's one variation, I forgot the fantasy variation of the f3. White's idea is he wants to consolidate his center and put the question to us. It's not so easy. Here, black has several options. You can play very solid with e6 and now claim this move f3 was stupid. There it is after knight c3, you'll even play bishop b4, pinning the knight. You're on 97 on castles next. If bishop d3, there's even one line you take here and you win a pawn here. This is some gambit line, I believe, where white sacrificing for some activity, then go 97, c5. Or we could even take here and follow it up by e5. The idea is we threaten queen h4 check now. She has to play knight f3. The line goes very sharp. Knight f3, bishop g4, plays bishop c4, looking at f7. We play knight d7. We cut out any knight e5 ideas. We could in fact take his queen, or we could even take here. And white castles, for example, or c3, and then we play knight f6. And there's one interesting way of playing it here where black is also fine. So generally, if you're looking for a solid opening, something very reliable, something where you could always counter on a solid and safe game that's not difficult to pick up and not drowning in endless theory, then that opening is the Caro Kann Defense. Alright, so that was a quick overview of the Caro Kann. I didn't want to go too deep. That was an overview. So if you guys like the Caro Kann, there are more resources that you could check out on it. Alright, so let's do our tradition here. Let's play a little rapid game.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, so I don't play rapid much. Let's put the Caro Kann in action. D4, play d5, bishop on c8. It's happy. Let's play the bishop f5 variation. Knight f3, play e6, get the bishop out of the pawn chain. Alright. c3, and then we follow up with c5. We're gonna bring our knight to c6. He takes. Okay, I play bishop d3, queen d3. One idea is knight e7, knight c6. Let's try it. One idea is knight d7. The idea is to give the other square for the knight to go to c6.
Music licensing reimagined.
Queen b5 check. I have knight c6. Alright. Getting things rolling here. Okay, the queen with a6 gone from here. What kind of move is that, boy? Where the man learned to play the game? If you all have any questions for me, don't be scared to ask them in the chat, You could drop a little comment in the chat. Show some support for your brethren from the Caribbean, man. Queen d7. Yeah, we defend the b7 pawn, break the pin.
Music licensing reimagined.
Take simply. I like the structure for black, which is very solid here. I'll play bishop e7 on castle. We have some good tunes up in the house, man. Some good tunes.
Artlist.io.
Play h6. I don't want bishop e5. Don't want him to trade. Alright, we're going after him there. So,
Music licensing reimagined.
Break open the position, man. A4. Get him. Which way you gonna take on the board there, man? Let me take this way, CD5, get it pass pawn. B4. Huh. Little 94 here.
IO.
Take the C file.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright. It seems like that's the it seems like that, unfortunately. True.
Artlist IO.
Play rook c4, the idea to get the other rook in. Alright. Stefan, maybe people didn't like the Caro Kann. People hating on the Caro Kann, man. People hating on the Caro Kann, man.
Licensing reimagined.
Oh, what is this? Gambling 92, Queen D2. Let's try Queen C6.
Artlist IO.
Create a pass pawn of my own. Very good step on the one with the Caro Kann. So someone came here, he watched the opening clinic on the Caro Kann and he won. So,
Artlist
alright.
IO.
Going for the win there, man. Let me push it back on the board where he come from.
Music licensing reimagined.
Let's try this bishop g5. What's some exchanges? To get through my pawn.
Artlist IO.
Caro Kann, man. Put knight to d2. Wanna get knight to b3 to support the pawn.
Music licensing reimagined.
You convert this, how we gonna get this?
Artlist IO.
Slowly move my king.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, so we're looking at the Caro Kann in action. Kind of move is that? Attacking my precious C3 pawn. How you gonna defend that there?
Music licensing reimagined.
You can play knight c4, but I don't want to give the pawn. Let's try this. Try to trick the man. So if you're joining the new there, be sure to subscribe. Comment where you're from, what's your chess goals. Check in the comments on YouTube.
Music licensing reimagined.
So you have a little tough spot here.
Artlist.io.
Alright. So guys, if you have anyone new here, I'd like to know my subscribers well. So tell me where you guys from, where you watching from. I'm International Master Alan Safar Ramoutar from the Caribbean island of Trinidad and Tobago here. We're streaming here. Chess.com TV, we live on YouTube. I'm checking the comments only on YouTube. So come across there if you want to say something directly to me. So you want to become a chess.com premium member. We have the affiliate link in the chat here. So I'm International Master from Trinidad and Tobago, small Caribbean island. I bring a different kind of flavor to the game here. Some insights, some learning tips, some strategy. New kind of thing that you don't usually get. Especially anything special from Caribbean. Waiting on this guy to play here. Thinking too much. Let's hope he blunders his queen or something. That would be good.
Artlist.io.
2. Let's play king e2, I believe. Huh.
Music licensing reimagined.
Not so easy. If I play d1 takes queen g2, his b pawn may go.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, let's pass a move perhaps. Let's move my king to safety.
Music licensing reimagined.
Oh, hello, my friend. I'm good. Where you coming from, my friend? Where you coming from, Mr. Vishnu? All right. Queen g5. Huh. Can we escape a draw here? Queen. He has a Messi, seems like a perpetual. Yeah. Caro Kann didn't turn out too well. Caro Kann didn't turn out too well at all.
Reimagined.
You can't do anything about that. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Dallas, I remember I played some tournaments there. Very good, very good. Excellent. Have you scored any wins with the Scotch Gambit? Queen G6 is in less Queen G4.
Artlist.io.
Very good, good to hear that. We have someone who likes my course. Be sure if you like the course, be sure to leave a review. It really helps. It really helps. It's really very helpful towards the course,
Music
towards the
licensing
author.
reimagined.
So be sure if you really like the course, leave a review. I had my more recent course, a repertoire against Sicilian. That one was golden. That one was really golden. So if you need a weapon against Sicilian, be sure to go there. Playing against someone here from Kenya, man. Let's try a very interesting system. Let's try playing with B6. See what happens here.
Artlist.io.
What's your rating, Mr. Vishnu here? What kind of player? You're a serious player? You're playing for fun, or what kind of chess you playing? So, right away, Bishop. For anyone watching from chess.com, be sure to come and leave a comment on the YouTube chat. They are monitoring all the comments. There I can see everything.
Music licensing
So I play
reimagined.
D6, 97, yeah, probably D6, 97. Very good, very good. Yes, the Scotch Gambit is very dangerous in both classical and blitz. Even more dangerous in both. I see, only around 20.
Artlist.io.
Alright, 1900, so you're like a seasoned club player, as they may say. A seasoned club player. What, do you have any goals?
Licensing.
Do you have any goals of improvement? What are your goals in chess? Where are you looking to go? What's your current rating? Well, you said 1900, and what's your goals? Do you have any plans to achieve some big breakthroughs? Do simple, flexible. NM is a good goal. I have some students that achieve that. It's a stepping stone for sure. It's not the end, but yes, it's definitely very good to get the NM title. You definitely get a lot of respect. It's very well. We don't that title. I think they only have that in America. They don't have it anywhere else. But it's very, very good to have that for
Music
sure.
licensing reimagined.
They definitely should go for it. So what's your study plan like? How much do you train chess? And around how old are you? That's in chess. A lot depends on how old you are these days. If you're like 60 or something, it might be too hard. But if you're young and have energy, then you should be able to do it without problems. So let's open the center. Can I castle on Gambit this pawn? Why Gambit pawn kind of stake? Huh. Let's get the pawn here. Take the pawn, my friend. I'm in no arena, I'm just playing some games here. You missed out the previous stream. I was doing an overview of the whole Caro Kann with black previously. Nothing too deep, but an overview. I opened chat. I was doing some known as the Caribbean clinic. Through the whole Caro Kann. Doing an overview since I know that very well, and a lot of people are interested in that. So I was doing that previously, and we finished a little bit early. Okay, so you're young. That's good. That's very good. You have a lot to have a good part to improve, man. I mean,
Artlist.
you have time. Time is on your side. That's definitely a very, very good factor. Not too old. Caro Kann is nice, man. The Caro Kann don't have no Scotch gambit in the Caro Kann. I like that. It's very nice. It's very solid. I really like Caro Kann. It's not that difficult to remember. You don't drown too much in theory. It's a very good opening. Let's take here.
List IO.
I play E5 is given out D5 square, but it's not a big. I could play E5 because he doesn't have access to the D5 square. Yeah, Caro Kann is good. I mean, it's not that difficult to learn. It depends what kind of game you want. If you want a solid safe game,
List IO.
that's the Caro Kann. If you want something more aggressive, might not be for you. We have BC4, Bishop C4, D5, BD5.
Music licensing reimagined.
Can't be like Petrosian. Knight F6 equals knight D2. But then we have knight G4. A chessable course about the Kalashnikov. Maybe I'm not sure about a rapid. We could probably play a blitz because the stream will be ending a bit soon. We stop knight G4. Let's try to catch him with A5, A4.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright. So if anyone else is joining the stream, be sure to let me know where you guys coming from. We are guys from all over the place, man. Yeah, this setup just looks bad for him. Let's go B4, try it again,
List
B3.
IO.
You could send me something like 3+2 unrated challenge.
Music licensing
Take that.
reimagined.
He ain't got no mates. Ain't no way. Coming for mate. Queen H3. Huh. Why did I open the road to my king?
Artlist IO.
Thinking again, that was not good. That was not good at all. I should have played 97. Coming from opening. Position.
Music licensing reimagined.
Queen. Yeah, he wants to play some Queen H3. Huh. It's not easy to stop. I could try Queen H3 and maybe King F8 or something.
Artlist IO.
Queen H8 will be mate. I have to run.
Music licensing reimagined.
So a friend wanted a course on the Kalashnikov. Ooh. I don't play the Kalashnikov. Is E3 not gonna be some mate or something? How's he stopping on B2 here?
Artlist.io.
Yeah, the Kalashnikov, I don't play it. I mean, I know the Shaveshnikov. The Kalashnikov, played a couple times, but I won't claim that I know deeply. I'm actually currently thinking what I could make for another course on Chessable or Chess.com. What ideas do you guys have? What do you think would really be a good idea to see on Chessable? Does anyone here have any very good ideas? What do you think Chessable is missing for a new course? Because you see, sometimes we have like too many of the same courses published these days. You see people publish like everyone. We have like many we have many Caro Kann repertoires there. So I don't feel like I'll do another Caro Kann. We have more 3-4 Caro Kann courses. So we go here. So alright, my friend, you could send in your challenge quickly. Before I have to start another game.
Artlist.io.
So does anyone have any questions here? Okay. Why did I not get it here? Let me see.
Music licensing reimagined.
I got it here, okay. Alright, let's go. Let me just for fun play D4. Let me drop Alan next. E3. Shut E2. Heinz variation, they call this.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Huh. Alright, how could I continue here?
Artlist.io.
Can I play this?
Music licensing reimagined.
Pop Caro Kann. That's an interesting idea for a course. There are already many Caro Kann courses. Alright. So let's see if I can get a game here. This is what Ding Loren was playing against Jan Nepomniachtchi in the FIDE World Championship.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io.
Do I not have this here? This seems to be working.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, well, that's a little trick here.
Artlist.io. Music licensing.
Alright, so we have a piece just left to convert it. Shouldn't be such a hard job. I can play.
Artlist.io.
94. Take his queen. I don't see any problem with F3. What's the easiest way to win this?
Licensing reimagined.
Knight e5, he has to play queen g5. This should be quite simple technique. I should be able to play this.
Artlist.io.
Queen h5, I can play g4. G4.
Music licensing reimagined.
Win another piece. Okay, we have two pieces here, I mean. Yeah, that's the thing how people from people from America are fighters. They don't resign.
Artlist.io.
But not to worry, I am very patient. No worries. Can play on.
Music licensing reimagined.
We're accurate. No counterplay. Okay. I'm simply play h3. Okay, that's a good sign when they're retreating. Knight f5. I think we just take on h4 here. Knight d7 check.
Artlist.io.
Alright, I guess someone wants to get checkmated. Alright. Yeah, good game. Alright, Stefan, I'll accept you as the last game. Send me a 3+2, sir. Alright, so we one more game and that'll be it. So today we had the Caro Kann open. Yes, I saw this knight c4, but I kind of set the trap, so I was waiting for you to play this e5. So generally in those positions, you have to be very patient with black. You have to be very patient with black because black has no immediate break. You just have to be patient and wait around and maneuver. So I like those positions with white. It's very simple to play. Okay, d4 here. Oh, he's playing the Caro Kann.
Music
Takes.
licensing reimagined.
Play d4. Play my favorite 95. c3. Develop my bishop. Castle here. Knight d2.
Artlist IO.
d1. Knight f3. Ready to give the bishop and play the simple
Music licensing
IQP
reimagined.
positions. I think we can take here.
Artlist IO.
How do we continue? Let's play the humble move.
Music licensing reimagined.
So we kind of block his bishop. I want to continue the game, developing. Queen out.
Artlist IO.
Yeah, next I'm bringing some more fire into the game. The position was good. You got a fine position from the opening for playing the Caro Kann. So it seems like you have a good feeling for the Caro Kann.
Music licensing
Maybe you should play that.
reimagined.
Rook e2. I'm surprised you played well for not knowing the Caro Kann. No, I was currently covering the Caro Kann for black. I was covering it for black. Yes, I like. This is a very nice, pretty line I was playing here with white.
Artlist IO.
Take here.
Artlist
Playing some
IO.
nice positional chess. Some slow chess.
Music licensing reimagined.
Nice, slow, calm chess.
Artlist IO.
Go a little bit back here.
Music licensing reimagined.
You are too fast for me here, Stefan. You're playing too fast.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Can we take this? Probably not takes.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Yeah, it looks more or less equal. That was a good game played. Let me check this. No, I don't have a video on this line. I was thinking recommending it for my next chessable course. At some point, I think black was better. Let's see.
Artlist.io.
Bishop d. So the whole point of the line, like takes 95, is that you want to provoke black. You want to get a bishop here, because it's very unpleasant to deal with this bishop b5 and this pin here. So a lot of times black, for example, knight f6, well usually white plays c3, but the idea is that if bishop b5, you usually has to play this, and you actually want to simply take the bishop here, play c3, come back with the bishop, castles. Man, it's very easy to play. Like bishop d7 takes c3, knight f6, bishop d3, 6 castles. So yeah, white was better here a little bit. e5, knight f3. So I took bishop d2 was okay. Queen d6 wasn't so good. Black, you should probably play bishop c7. Just try to trade the rooks. Queen d6, here g3. So you have to come back. You see, a queen was a little bit misplaced. Already here, f4 threat. Queen f3. Rook e2 was okay. Yeah, sure, just played rook a e1. King g2 was good. Bishop e3. Here a4. Here upon a. Oh, yeah, this was a good idea. Here a4 was very good with the idea b takes to take on e5 and then play queen f4 and then fork on the queen and rook, and after queen a4 this a5 pawn is very weak. Yeah, I missed that. b4. Yeah, again I shall play a4. Pull up. What happened to the board? Ooh. What happened to my board here? One second, guys. I don't know what happened to the board. Something happened here to this. Something happened to the board.
Music licensing reimagined.
I'm not sure what went on here. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to fix. Give me 1 second, I need to fix this board.
Artlist.io.
Let's fix the board. Give me a second.
Music licensing reimagined.
Something is
Artlist.io.
strange here. I'm trying to. Try to get my board malfunctioning. This is unusual.
Music
Hold up, guys. I'll get the board.
licensing
I'll get the board back. Yeah. Board looks like it's a little bit too big.
Artlist.io.
Alright, much better. Much better. Okay.
Music licensing reimagined.
Yeah, so what happened to this? Yeah, I missed some things too. What was this deck? Simple bishop f6. Backward move.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, in the game is I had rook d1. That was the only move. Alright, anyways guys, so that would be it for today. So does anyone have any last questions on the stream? Did you all enjoy the stream today? If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, like, be sure to be actively comment if you have my courses on Chessable. And once you completed it, all reviews are greatly appreciated. You're gonna become a chess.com premium member. Go ahead to the affiliate link in the description.
Music licensing reimagined.
So does anyone have any last questions? Anything to say? Alright, I guess well then. Does anyone have any questions? Are we closing off the stream here? Does anyone have anything they would like to? Tomorrow I'm not streaming. Tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow's a day of rest, man. I mean, I will stream from Monday. Monday the stream is at 3 p.m. CET time.
Music licensing reimagined.
Alright, so do you have any questions? Anything you would like to say? Alright, well then I'll be see you all on Monday then at 3 p.m. CET time.